Good morning, welcome to Corbett's 8 and 9. Today I'm walking An Dún, which is the fort, and Loch, which is the bald crag of the Loch. I'm parked just off the 8-9 on a little road to Trinafo, just down the way, and a little lay-by. A bit of a palaver really, because they won't let cars down this road here, as you can see, and I need to go down this road to get on a little tunnel which goes underneath the A9 to get onto the track that I need. Be warned, don't park on the other side of the dual carriageway on the A9 because you cannot get onto the track due to deer fencing, etc. So we follow the track down the private road and we're at the underpass going under the A9. Now I've just bumped into the landowner and he tells me would have been better off crossing the road and going through the forest on a forest track, although he said it's two sides of a square, so maybe coming back we'll go that way and we'll see where we're at. So we're following this Land Rover track, seems to be a theme. Probably 3 or 4 miles before we get to the base of the hill. So I'm going to be on this for a while. It maybe lends itself to a mountain bike. So I'm at a junction on the Land Rover track. Now I do believe that track up there, which is what I'll take going home, takes me through the forest and back down to the car, which the landowner suggested I use. I'm sure it's just to keep me off his land, but we'll try it. Anyway, continue on this track. So we crossed a river, oh, maybe 3 or 4 times today. Well, this one we're fortunate enough to have a bridge. I think when we get higher upstream, there's no bridges. So we've done a couple of small bridges since the first major bridge, but this is the next river crossing, which shown on the map as a ford. So there's a couple of discarded mountain bikes there. Basically you can't see anything, but that's pretty much over there where we'll come off the second Corbett and try and pick up this Land Rover track over there, but we're going to skirt the river still and head for the first one. So there you go, there's a derelict lodge. I have to say, this is such a good Land Rover track. I was expecting that not to be derelict. So there's a ford there, which I'm not going to take. In fact, we don't cross that river again. I'm going to hug the side of it, and eventually we're going to start climbing. I have to say, this side of the river, very boggy, squelchy. So there's a random stake and a path here heading up through the bog, which I'm going to take, and then after a while I'm going to hang a left and start making my way to the top. So here we are, pathless, trudging through the heather, aiming for the top. So I'm going to try and get up that shoulder there and then follow that grassy section up into the clouds. I think it's about maybe 300 meters of climbing still. Yes, so very steep, very grassy and heathery. Hard work, no path, just going up. All I can say is that's as steep as anything I think I've climbed. Oh my god, that was hard work. The gradient's just easing now as we get towards the top. So here we are, An Dún. Wow, that was hard work. Oh, glad to have bagged this one. So I'm going to go straight over the top, not a lot to see. Interest, the map shows a second spot point at 827 meters, which is this little cairn here. I take it there's 2 tops on this Corbett. So you can see I'm following this rounded shoulder. It's a shame we've got no views. Wow, this shoulder's become ridge-like, almost erect-like. Awesome. This is really steep that I'm coming down. Bonkers. Oh dear. Right, so we're still going to get closer to that river now. Looks like I might be getting wet feet. Looks very very full. Well, I had to walk up and down the side of that a couple of times until I found somewhere suitable to cross. Now look where we've just come off. It's a monster. It looks like we've got a bigger monster ahead. Whoa. So the plan is to follow this Land Rover track around the back of the mountain. As you can see, it's almost vertical. To where the gradient eases, and try and find my way up the other side. So I've just crossed this little ford on the Land Rover track. I'm going to head up towards that little ridge there, but I'm going to go that way just to ease the gradient, and then we'll bear right and go up the ridge line, which looks to be a far easier gradient than the other side. So it's not as steep as the first one yet. We're going up to that ridge line, and then we're going to pretty much make our way to the top, and I think the top section is going to be eyeballs out. Yes, I can confirm that is very steep. Not quite vertical. But I don't think I'm too far from the top now. What I thought was a cairn is a boulder. I've got about another 25 metres of ascent. I'm at 850 metres here, so not far now. Flatten right off, plateauing up the top. Well, I have to say that's a disappointing cairn. Creag Loch. All that effort, eh? Oh dear. Right, let's get off this top. There's not a lot to see. This cairn is bigger than the top. It's been very useful, keeping me straight. 867 metres this spot height. So I've been aiming at that in and out of the mist, keeping me on track. The mists have just come off Andoon. Wow. Straight up the side of that this morning. God, it was steep. This is a very, very big, flat, open mass of land. It's been quite difficult trying to keep straight, keeping on my bearing. So it's pretty much pathless, as you can imagine. I can see a couple of guys ahead of me actually, so they're probably doing the same circuit I've just done, catching them up. And eventually we're going to get down to the river at the bottom. I think there's a forest down there. You can just about make it out. We skirt round the back of the forest and we meet the river where the mountain bikes were parked earlier. So we've picked up the path now, taking us down. It's probably a little sheep trod or something. Andoon. Wow. This path I picked up has been very good. It's skirting the underside of this hill now, dropping down to the edge of the forest where we'll pick up the Land Rover track. Brilliant. So the couple ahead, they're also bagging Corbetts, and they're the ones that dump the mountain bikes. I'm so jealous. I checked Strava at this point this morning and it's about 4 miles back to the car. 4 miles would be a lot easier on a mountain bike. That's the advantage of the mountain bike. Look at them boys go. There'll be probably half an hour, if not more, ahead of me by the time I get back. Just looking back, you can see Andoon in the clouds. It's no wonder they call it the fort. It's huge, isn't it? Oh dear. It's a long way, this 4 mile after you've done all that. It seems much further. So we're going to follow this track that the landowner suggested this morning into that wood. Now we came up that track over there this morning, which skirted the underside of the wood. So let's see if he's right and if it's quicker. So back at the A9, I've parked just round the corner there, and I'd say probably on balance it is quicker going through the forest. I think the landowner was probably right.